All right, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to go over the cards and kind of give you guys an idea of, number one, how do they shuffle, as well as how well do they travel across the table. Usually when you have a dealer, it really doesn't matter. Even the J design ones, they don't travel very well, but when you're centered on the table, they really don't have to travel that far. So if you're dealing to your friends from across the table, this will kind of help you get an idea of how well they do. All right, first deck is the Bullet deck. Got on Amazon for $19.99. It comes in these boxes, and it also comes with cut cards. All right, this deck comes in two colors, blue and red. It does have a texture on the back. It's like a grainy. I think you guys can see that right there. Not a huge deal. For me, I'm not a huge fan. Again, that's just me though. All right, bear with me as I have to do one-handed deals, but for a $20 deck, these aren't terrible. Personally, I would recommend getting some Copags. It's just my preferred deck to use, but as you guys can see, not having an issue. All right, for the next ones, these are Da Vinci's. We have the poker size and the standard bridge size. Poker size is up top, and then the bridge size are on the bottom. What that means is they're just two different sizes, right? Not super different by much, but it's mainly the width. You can kind of see the difference there. All right, so here you have the poker size. This is the secondary color that you get with the set, which also comes in these plastic cases that you guys saw. And this is the secondary color for the other Da Vinci. Now, the poker size came with a cut card. I don't know if these ones did. I'm not too sure. So sorry about that. These guys cost roughly about $20 a piece. You can get them on Amazon. You can get it straight from their website. They don't have any crazy texture compared to the bullets. They're pretty smooth for the most part. But the way these guys glide on this neoprene surface is night and day difference. So here is the bridge size. As you guys can see, it's like these guys have brakes on them or something. So poker size, these guys have no problem getting across the table. All right, so next up is J Design. Also comes in this cardboard paper box kind of thing with a separator, so that's really nice. These next cards that I ended up showing you, the Copags, the Faded Spade, and Chem, they do not come with a cut card, so keep that in mind. The secondary color is blue. This set is blue and red. They have different colors on their website, so feel free to take a look at what they have. So these ones are interesting. The back on these guys feel like the paper cards that I've noticed. You guys can, I don't know if you guys can see that. A very matte finish on all these other cards. It's identical to this, right? You can hardly see the light. All right, so the same with the Da Vinci's. These guys bite the table for some reason. I think these are made for felt, and that's the reason why. These are also $20, or around the $20 mark. All right, next up we have Faded Spade. This is a quad color. Again, like I mentioned in the previous video, this is great for beginners. It helps them identify flushes that are on the community board. And then you also have the standard. They come in these cardboard paper boxes with a divider inside. Oh, whoops. With a divider inside. And that's just so your cards don't get mixed up when they're in there and you're moving them around. And the colors are blue and green for the quad color, and then purple and green for the standard. All right, Faded Spade. So the two cards you saw are the same construction. They're a thicker plastic. Some people prefer that over the thinner ones. It really doesn't matter to me. These are one of the 4 decks that are in rotation at my home games. The texture on the back, it's relatively smooth, has a little bit of texture, but nothing crazy. These are also, I believe, $20. They do have the 3.0s out that were on sale for $20, but they were originally $30. So if they do come out with a 4.0, you can assume that they'll probably be around that $30 range. The reason why these are one of my top 4s is the way they glide across the table is effortless. All right, Copags. So have a ton of these, but it's because they are awesome. Haven't had an issue with either one. Obviously, I no longer use the quad colors, but again, great for beginners. This is the Jumbo Index. This is the standard colorway, but Jumbo Index, these constantly are in use at my games. We have people who, I'm not going to say they're blind, but can't see well sometimes, and to make the playing grounds fair, I introduced the Jumbos in the game. Copags also make cards for WSOP. These are for 2023 in the standard index, and then another deck that's standard. Secondary color is black. Secondary color for WSOP is red. Red for the Jumbo in the standard color, and then red for, it seems like that's really what it is. It's either red and black, red and blue, or at least that's with Copag. They also come in these plastic cases. Again, these do not come with cut cards. They do, however, come with these separators or these middle locks so your cards don't shift. Because with Faded Spade, if the top is on, there's still some room. If these are put upside down, it'll still get over to the other side. Not a huge deal, but it's a nice to have. All right, so with Copags, I have noticed a slight difference in construction. These Jumbo Copags are super thin. These Jumbo quad colors are a little bit thicker compared to this guy. I don't know if you can hear anything. And these are also on the thicker end. So I don't know if it's just because this is an older model. I'm over here flicking these cards around. But just so you know, I don't know if it's the older model, but there are some Copags that are thinner than the other. All right, these guys are gonna run you about $15 to $20, depending on which one you're getting into. There are a ton of places where you can buy Copags. Amazon, eBay, Poker Chip Forum, Etsy even. So keep an eye out for that. You have a ton of options. Copags will always be a top 3 for me. Never had an issue with dealing them across the table. Also got my first royal flush on Copags. So, whoops, that was on my end. All right, last up are the chems. These are standard colorway, standard index. These are also my favorite choice for poker. First time I handled chem cards was at a poker room in El Paso. Absolutely loved it, and I had to get myself a set. Before I forget, it comes in this cardboard box with a paper separator. Wish it came in a plastic box, but that's okay. Another issue, so the only issue I have with this is it's blue and green, right? But they're both darker colors. So in person, these are, if I were to mix these cards together, for whatever reason, right? Let's say I'm shuffling one deck here, this person's dealing, scrapes the cards up and a card ends up on this side, you will not be able to tell the difference, at least to me. So I may be partially blind. So chems shuffle like a dream. They're super soft construction, super flexible cards, not any like crazy texture on the back, but they're super soft. They do, because of that, they can warp a little bit. 2-5, who's playing that? Comment below. But you guys can see it's super minimal, and it goes back down after a while. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's deal these out. Effortless. Whoops, almost went airborne there. With chems, like I mentioned, they're the more expensive option. You can find them for anywhere from $30 to $60, depending on what kind of model you end up going for. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of a run through real quick of what I mean by standard index and jumbo index. Standard is the smaller print, the smaller font. Jumbo is the larger font. Personally, I recommend having both if you can. If not, I would say just go with the jumbo. It makes the community board a lot easier to see, maybe for players that are wearing glasses or, wear contacts. Or you can say tough luck and just get the standard index. It is completely up to you. Faded Spade does this nice thing where they kind of bold the standard index, their standard index, and it's a nice in between. So it's preference. All right, if you made it this far, you either fell asleep or you were genuinely curious about plastic playing cards. If you guys have any ideas for content, please leave it down below. And again, thank you guys for stopping in.